All right, I'm back. Okay, so that was nice watching some Quarantine Report 3. Oh, for those that don't know, a couple before I start doing this, of course, Geki has a tournament on Wednesday for PS4, I think, and Shinjay is running a tournament on March 6th on PS4. So remember that. I'll post the link in the chat. So don't forget to sign up for that. That's on March 6th. All right. So last night during the roundtable, which was a very long discussion after we found out about it. So Fighting EX Layer, another dash was announced, which is going to be on Switch. And let's watch this trailer real quick. I'm gonna rewatch it. Watch for those that have not seen it. I don't have ad block, so it's gonna go right into it. Oh, I need to turn that off. I need to turn that command off. Yeah, that giveaway is over. All right, so let's watch this trailer again. First of all, they had to tone down the graphics to make it run at 60 frames, even though it's on Unreal.
死の匂いがする姫様、なぜこちらにインドらしい
I like the title screen, okay, but I don't know about that name. Alright, EX Dash, of course. It's Arrow. Oh, it looks like they're making EX Arrow use half a meter. That's actually really cool to be able to cancel into guard break. So it's supposed to come out in 2021. Well, it's supposed to come out April 1st. Alright. So, what are my thoughts on it? Because here's the thing. The nice thing about this is that this stuff was in the beta test for a rollback back in, what was that, June, July? It was on Steam, something like that, where they took out the Gogi, they took out Run, they took out like the Infinites, and it costs meter for certain things, like the EX Dash that you saw, which was basically a like an FADC, and which can have some pretty high combos. So it costs bar to do that. Looks like they have EX Arrow having cost half a meter. They updated it in the later version to have it use. The X illusion looks like an enhanced guard. And of course, you can do that. So they had these in the beta, which I will say this: it reverted back to old school Street Fighter EX, which of course I'm a fan of Street Fighter EX. That's why I played Fighting EX Layer. And there are people out there that actually like this system. They didn't really like the Gogi system that much. There were, and I will say, like, no disrespect to them, to those kinds of folks. Well, EX2 had guard. The EX series had guard break, and you could cancel in the guard break. They had that, but they didn't have like EX arrow and all that stuff. So, but anyhow, so from what I've seen in the comments is people are liking it. Uh, they like how they like the Gogula system and all that. There's a lot of people because there's a lot of people that play Fight EX Slayer and they think the Gogi system is basically cross tech and gems BS basically. So I will say that there is a lot of positivity in this. There is positivity. I myself also enjoyed this system as well, but it is not really fighting EX Slayer without the run mechanic. The run mechanic is actually kind of cool because I like to play a game. I like to play a game where I can rush down and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't want to play neutral. You know, and you know during the roundtable they said that it was coming to Switch first, so it is a possibility that this like version would come out on PlayStation and Steam. Maybe I kind of want it to be like how I really want it is have it as a mode, like instead of like just have it as a mode instead of like different from the core game. Like I mean, if it did, if I will admit this, since I support Arica, I support Fighting X Layer. If it did not come to the Switch, if it came on console and in Steam, I will buy it because of how much I support them. Because Arca has possibly been like the coolest developer. They love to talk about our events. They like to they they follow a lot of the FEXL players and all that stuff. Hey, okay, oh hey, and Jim, they things like that. But something like this, back in the last roundtable, they said something about crossplay, and then they said they didn't really have the budget to implement crossplay, which is understandable. But we've been waiting for like quite a while to hopefully did something, but they didn't really say anything about it. Part of me, part of me also wants to wants. Part of me is saying that they should have never said anything about crossplay. Like really, a part of me really wants crossplay. I wish that they did not announce crossplay. And because ever since then, and I see it every week for for those that join the FEXL Discord. When's crossplay? When's crossplay? Does it have crossplay yet? To the point where Geki actually had to make a fact channel that nobody reads. Just saying. Um, I think this kind of version, I really want to see. Like, I try to. I've been trying to see the positive in this. This is a really big risk for Arica. It really is. This is kind of a make or break right here, to be honest with you all. So the reason why it's coming to the Switch, and big props to Serrano for providing this info, is that Switch games sell in Japan. It Switch games really sell in Japan. So it made sense to have it on the Switch. I know this is like the first reveal trailer on it because it kind of looks like ass right now. It really does. And apparently it's going to have some sort of delay based netcode. It was like some Harada style wording of what kind of delay based netcode is. What was it called? Delay base backstep interrupt. What the hell is a backstep interrupt? What is that? But it's going to be delay based netcode at launch, but will implement rollback later on. Micro rollback? I have no idea what that is. But I think what they should have done, because they said there was also said that they're done with development for Fighting EX Layer. So they have this version right here. I like I like the system of this. You know, the EX dash, the guard break cancel, the EX illusion just looks weird by the way. EX era. I actually like that because I had fun with the beta test. I really did. I'm gonna admit that. You know, it played like old school Street Fighter EX. You know, it focused a lot more on neutral footsies and all that. But the thing is, with Fighting EX Layer, it was the run mechanic that really made it stand out. The run mechanic and the Gogi system, it really made it stand out. Uh, I think I think what's really cool about the Gogi system because what's really cool about it is that it creates different strategies with different players. Like you want a really offensive deck, you got one with Agno. You want to be defensive and try to be a tank, you got Juggernaut. You want to mix it up, Stealth Raptor. You want to spam grab all day, Grabmaster. You want to feel a lot of pain, Supernova. There's something for everybody. Sell your future Switch. But I'm just saying, if you there's a Gogi deck for everyone. Just saying, you know, that's what made Fighting EX Layer unique in its own way. It was its own beast. It was its own thing. It was its own identity, and not a lot of people accepted that, which really kind of pisses me off because those folks, as I said, no disrespect to them, those folks have no fucking clue about how the Gogi system works. They did not want to give it a chance. They did not want to. They didn't want to accept it for what it is, and yet they want to sit there on their damn keyboards and just piss on it like it's something else. They wanted to judge it based on first impression, which really sucks, by the way, that they did that. And I really wish that they did not. But I will say that this system right here, this old school style system, I do like as well. You know, I really like it. As I said, I had a lot of fun with it during that beta test period. I really did. And I will say yes, the Gogi system is not for everybody. But don't piss on it. And don't judge it by its first impression. Learn the mechanic. Read more about it. Just look into it. It takes like 15 minutes of your day to just to look into it. It's how you learn the mechanics of a game no matter what game you play. Fighting game, first person shooter, Hidden Gem's favorite gotcha game. Learning the system of it, it's part of the joy of learning a game. It really is. Hey Jashito, how you doing? And you know, And this system right here, this right here, here's what I would wanted it to have. I would actually like this if this was like, say, it was like a mode, like it was a different mode. Not taking away from the core gameplay of Fighting EX Slayer. Like update Fighting EX Slayer to be like, FEXL 2. And just have like this mode, you know? Because this right here, it's its own unique system as well. Like have it be called the EX Gogi or something like that, or things like that. Just just another mode. You don't need to have. You don't really need, just don't have it be like a separate mechanic because this will separate a lot of players. Having something like this separate, like that's why Street Fighter 4 had the Omega mode. It was a separate mode, and casuals could play, or people that just want to have fun with it can play that mode. But this is basically a different game because it's a different mechanic. They could have easily, I mean, I don't know about easily, but they could have at least made it to where it is just something separate within the same core game. I mean, it is a different game, literally, yes, but just have it like within the core game, like a mode, like an extra mode, like EX mode, where we can all have casual matches, lobbies, tournaments, with that. I really wish that they really did try to implement crossplay. I mean, yes, it takes money, it takes time, and all that. They did say that this is coming out the Switch first. So that's a hint that it's going to come out on PlayStation and Steam. Because I doubt they're going to do it on Xbox. That's my take right there. And so if we do get it, I mean, I'd buy it. I will. And I try to see the positive of this. As I said earlier, this is a very big risk. It's a lot of. It was a bit of time spent using that money they got from Nintendo for Tetris 99 and Super Mario 35, Tetris Effect, to make something like this. And as I said, it's a big risk because one, it's coming out on the Switch with delay-based netcode, where a majority of Switch owners are playing on Wi-Fi. And yes, unfortunately, crossplay does give them little or no money in return. That is true. And I do understand that because you're going to have a lot of the existing players, but online will be more active and it could potentially bring new people in there because of crossplay, things like that. So there's always there's always something about that. It could bring little to no money or it could bring a little more because with crossplay, now that I can actually have like a buddy of mine who only has PC play me on PS4. And a lot of new players that get FEXL like on the sale, they just stop playing after a little bit because they don't like it, they don't like the system, they can't find people to play with because either they're on PS4 or PC, things like that. And my take on all of this is that as big of a risk this is, I can't see the future, but I don't know if this is the right move, especially right now. If they can't get there, and they're also rushing to finish this as well, because if they don't release it on April 1st, they're going to announce something about when it's going to come out. My hope is this: April 1st is, for those that don't know, the lore, Arca likes to announce things on April Fool's Day. And my hope is that they announce something with this, if they can release it, like, of course, a full blown release date, or if they're going to bring this to console, to PlayStation and PC, or if they're going to up, because I don't know if Mahara just likes to troll. He probably does. Uh, but he's been showing like small clips of what Fighting EX Layer could be. Like the updated Shadow Geist move, something with Kyrie, something with Hayate. Like Enway is a small development company. Of course, they have more people than Arca does, but they managed to have 5-way crossplay with PS4, Xbox, PC, Stadia, and Switch. And as crap as SF5's netcode is, I think they're like one of the first that has crossplay between console and PC. Because I know that I mean, Arxis has done crossplay between, they've done cross gen crossplay between like PS3 and PS4 for like Uni and Guilty Gear Sign. So it's there. It's possible to do these things, especially now that uh especially since Sony was kind of like late into the whole making crossplay available, you know. And Arca definitely is going big with this. This is seriously like a make it or break it situation for Arca. I hope it sells well. I love Arca to death. I love their uh their passion for what they do. I love that they love the community. I love that they support the community. They pop into FEXL streams every now and then, depending on who he is. Because Mahara has been in my streams. Nishitani has been in my streams as well. He watch they watch tournaments, things like that, and Japan loves the community as well. So this is possibly, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I just hope that this sells well enough to implement something. If this does not get released on April 1st and they announce something, I want them to have like a bigger, I want them to make it a grand event of sorts, because Strive comes out like 5 days after for those that pre-ordered like me. And if this does not sell that well, I don't know what Arca is going to do. It's, I mean, there are a lot of Switch owners in Japan. I don't have a Switch, so I can't buy this. Uh, unless I make it a donation goal, which I'm not going to. What I think could happen is this could flop, and on the Switch, it could do kind of well on PlayStation and PC. It could, but this is the thing that always gets me, and I'm sure Hidden Gem has seen this for a long time. Remember when Fighting EX Slayer first came out on console on PS4, and people ask for a Steam port, and they said that they will 100% buy it and play it if it was on Steam. Where where are those that said that? I didn't see them. I haven't really looked at the comments in this other than the fact that it's got some positive comments on it from what I've heard. But these folks, I bet that there's a lot of comments that said, yes, I will buy this because it doesn't have that Gogi stuff. I'll definitely play it. And they only play it for a week. Maybe less. Because they don't like the certain mechanics or whatever, or the look of it. Because I will say this, it don't look that great. D Dark looks green for some odd reason. Yeah, FEXL is only like 2.5 years old. It came out in June 2018. Yeah, it don't look entirely that great. I mean, why does Darwin look like that? It's I don't really want to say it, but I don't think this is the move for Arica, to be honest. I'm seriously, really, really trying to see the positive. I really am. If does come out, if this does come out on other platforms, yes, I will buy it. But a majority of folks are probably not gonna get this. And if we get a sequel to Finding X Layer, please make sure it has better rollback implementation. Because the rollback on FEXL is not perfect. It is not good compared to. It is not as good as compared to other rollback netcode games. Like Skullgirls KI, Strive, KOF, 2002, Sam Show 5 Special. Will I play it for a while? I might, if this comes out on Steam and PlayStation. I might. I can't guarantee that I would play it for the long term. But even if they don't do anything more to the current version of Fighting EX Layer, I will always support it. I'll try it, and I'll make sure to keep running tournaments for it. Try and get folks to learn it, and all that stuff, because I just I would like I'd like to see people play the games that I love. I mean, for those of us that did the beta test, we did have a tournament for it. It was kind of cool. I'll admit that. And but in terms of the long term, I don't know how this will. I don't know how this will turn out. Of course, Geki said he will because he has a Switch. He actually has a Switch. I'm just a pleb that does not have a Switch, but I have a PS5, I guess. Guess that makes me cool. All right. He said on Twitter that he's gonna be climbing the ladder, and I told him to buy me a Switch, and I'll climb it with him. He's gonna beat up the kids that are on Switch. Because Geki's a bully like that. And as I said, I hope this sells. I really do because I support Arica. Maybe I mean, if I'm $50 is. I bet you it's gonna be 100% digital. And it's gonna be like $30 to $40 because Nintendo. This is not gonna. I mean, I would say sell this for $14.99. Just gonna say that right now. Unless, I mean, I've seen games games running on Unreal on the Switch. I mean, MK11 on the Switch looks like ass. I've seen it. It ain't that pretty, but I really want. I want this. If this is successful, it could really mean something. It really can. It really can. It will. And when it comes to something like finding EX Layer, that's it's an already niche game. Having something like this is gonna make it even more niche than it already is. No, no one wishes for you to work for Arica because you're just gonna tell them to make Barrier even more active frames on it and have like everything be plus. So no, no one wishes you worked for Arica, Wavy. I'm sorry. It's gonna be so much Scullo bias, it ain't even gonna be funny. But I hope it sells. I hope it sells. I hope it does well enough for something bigger to happen. And even though as much as I hate to admit it sometimes, the current version of FEXL is just fine. I mean, just fix Scullo's weird hitbox. That's about it. That's probably the only thing I would fix. Everything else is just fine. But this right here on the Switch is, I don't know. Equal damage output in fighting games is actually not fun. It doesn't make the game fun. Characters with different damage values actually makes it more interesting because it makes you want to. It really makes you want to see. Makes you put work into it. So I'm gonna have to disagree with the equal damage output. I'm gonna have to disagree with that 100%. Sorry, but I don't know like what this whole thing could entail. I can't see the future. Equal damage does not make a lot of sense. Give me a fighting game that name one fighting game where every character has equal damage. None. None exist. Okay, maybe like Karate Champ, but like an actual fighting game that has equal damage output. Zero. None. Absolutely none. Variable damage is what makes a fighting game have its identity because that's what a fighting game does. That's kind of what FEXL is with the Gogi system. Similar to Grooves and CVS2, so they're already trying to do that. What I really want to see, I mean, the fact that this kind of decision right here really it throws me off because one, this is, I mean, yeah, I'm actually glad that the Switch is actually getting Fighting X Layer, okay, because I think there's like one person that kept chatting around about it in the Discord about why it should be on the Switch or whatever. But how big of a risk this is? This is like possibly like one of the biggest gambles that Arica has actually done. I mean, releasing Fighting EX Layer was definitely a gamble and sort of paid off. But the this is an even way bigger gamble than anyone else can handle. No, this guy's a this Skullomania guy is a troll. Looks like. So there are 197 comments. I'm just saying. I will buy this on whatever system is released on. So Snake won me. Remember that name. Yeah, if really wish Bandai Namco would just freaking just give them the rights to Finding Layer back. Slayer, Cancel Break is back. Waiting for this to happen. Okay, this one, this person says it definitely day one buy. Okay, I don't know who this person is. Finally, let's go. This is about to be lit. Sweat. Oh, I did. Oh, I did see SNK in the credits. Yeah, that's $5 for Terry. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like positive comments, things like that. So, and yeah, for all those people, better buy it. They know it's gonna be big sad. But I think the way that Arca could actually make this successful is if they actually market it. Like the only people that knew that Fighting EX Layer existed was that like we watched Evo. They're they need to work on their marketing, is what I'm saying. But my thoughts on this is this is a very big risk. I hope this should come to console. This should come to PlayStation and Steam because they're saying that it would be on Switch first. Um, I do like this system. It's actually kind of fun. I will say that. Some people didn't like it, but the run mechanic is is really cool. Gogula system is nice. Some people, yeah, because Arca's marketing is was not that great for Fighting X Slayer. Like I knew Fighting X Slayer existed, but my next door neighbor didn't, and who also plays fighting games. So, well, not my next door neighbor, but he lives like 3 buildings down from me. But still, it's that this is a very big risk. I hope it actually sells. I was very thrown off by this whole announcement, and that they said that they're not doing development anymore for the current version of Fighting EX Layer. However, I do hope that something big. I do hope something comes out of this on April 1st. We'll have to find out about that. So please continue to support Arica. Continue to support Fighting EX Layer. Play the game. Buy the DLC if you can. Enter tournaments. They're always free to enter and welcome to anybody. It also guarantee, you'll also be playing with a lot. We're pretty nice. We're a pretty nice community. There's a tournament on March 6th for link battles. Sign up for that. Link is somewhere in the chat. But the there's a tournament on Thursday. There's a tournament. There's always events happening. April Fantasista is happening on March 31st. That's gonna be a fun one. I'll be free that day, so I can commentate for you, Hidden Gem. But just throwing that out there, buddy. But all I can say, it's a big risk. I hope it ends well, and I'm not entirely mad. I'm just very confused. Is my thinking on this? I'm just confused. Um, I hope they're going to update the current version of Fighting EX Layer. I hope they at least make the rollback, improve the rollback netcode, and also have Arica make the continent of South America fix their internet. I guess those are my wishes for the current Fighting EX Layer version. So I mean, I figured he was probably going to ask me anyway, so I'll commentate for you, boy. I also want my run back too, but that's another day. But I want to thank you folks for joining me during this very nice, interesting stream of Fighting EX Layer. I'll be back tomorrow if my internet is fine again, because it looks like it was stable. Probably play some more Guilty Gear Strive for the beta since that's still going. But follow me on Twitter. Go to Rogue NCG Esports, which is I'm a part of as their content creator. We just got partnered with Rogue Energy, so you can go to Rogue Energy's website, type in the code NCG for 10% off at checkout. You can also go to sourdog.gg and get apparel using code NCG for 10% off as well. So I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you, folks, for joining. You all have a great night. Stay safe out there, and remember to support Fighting EX Layer.